Welcome to Part G, Day 6 of the Chronology of Humanity, prepared by Father and Son team, George and Dana Brown. Quote, receive my, God's instruction, and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold, unquote. Proverbs 8:10. The Chronology of Humanity, Day 6. After 6,000 years, the turning point is reached in the spring of 1996 AD. Planet Earth was created with attributes of age, 5 BC, birth of Jesus Christ, then humanity went from the horse and buggy to space. Day 6, 5001, 6,000 from creation, called Preparation Day. Egypt unto the glorious solemn assembly. Humanity's double portion. Smoke and mirrors promoted, preparing for the 7th millennial day versus the bloody ping-pong ball, fighting over the substitute Jerusalem, whereas the real holy city, Jebus Jerusalem, and the hallowed temple were buried and ignored. Day 6, 5001, 6,000 from creation. Approaching the Lord's Day. Day 6 is a preview of the future, as both blessings and curses prevailed. Both God's promises were reiterated. Still, the beast continued to reign over the land of the north, this world. Revelation 13, 1-18, and 17, 12-17. Luke 4, 5-7, Daniel 7, 1-19, Deuteronomy 30, 1-3, Jeremiah 16, verses 14 and 15, and Jeremiah 23, verses 3-8. Day 6. The land of the north is Satan's dominion. Yes, the land of the north, this world, encompassed the whole world. Yet humanity's double portion was received at the end of the 6th day, as blessings were bestowed upon Manasseh. Exodus 16, 4 and 5, and verses 22-26. Genesis 49, 22-26. Now Joseph had 2 sons, Manasseh the elder and Ephraim the younger. Jacob, Israel, Joseph's father, blessed Joseph's sons above all Israel. Genesis 48, 1-22. On day 6, Manasseh's inheritance and blessings came forth on both sides of the Atlantic, prefigured by the river Jordan. That is, on day 6, about 300 years of bountiful blessings began pouring forth circa 1700 AD. The USA and Canada west of the Atlantic, and England and Western Europe on the east prospered far more than other nations. Yes, those amazing blessings leaped forth relative to the rest of the world. Indeed, humanity's double portion poured forth upon Manasseh for all the world to see and benefit therefrom. Genesis 48, 20-22. Now, Manasseh's inheritance is on both sides of the Jordan River. You can see the red arrows pointing to Manasseh's inheritance on both sides of the Jordan. Ephraim's inheritance is south of Manasseh's western portion. It's very important. Now note that Dan left his inheritance and went north. Judah had no legitimate heirs. So all sorts of things are taking place now. The Jordan River, of course, prefigures the Atlantic Ocean. So we have the early Israelites in the land of Canaan telling us what's happening in modern days. One holy ark is to be brought into the land of Shinar. That is, the land between the two waters. So we see here the land between the two waters, the land of Shinar, the land between the Atlantic and the Pacific. Manasseh's Western Inheritance, Canada, USA. Okay, and Ephraim's inheritance, south of Manasseh's Western Inheritance, plus cities of Manasseh. Joshua 16:9 and 17:9. So Ephraim was set before Manasseh. Therefore expect blessings upon Ephraim to be much more greater than those upon Manasseh. Blessings upon Joseph. They are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. 10 times. Deuteronomy 33:17 and 33:1 and verses 13 to 17. Blessings upon Manasseh. Blessings that poured forth upon Manasseh evolved with amazing advancements in technologies. Examples of amazing changes that evolved late on the sixth day include: one is early steam power. It became a tremendous workhorse that is still functioning today. Two is understanding electricity, which provided a key to much greater progress. And the third is progress leaps ahead with motor vehicles, aircraft, and spacecraft. Nuclear power revolutionized wars, marine propulsion, and utilities. And then wisdom even unleashed amazing energy stored in tiny atoms. Wisdom is very, very important. And last is sounding the trumpet is now provided by the worldwide internet. God gave humanity power. Deuteronomy 8:18. Why did it happen all at once, circa 1700 until 1996 AD and onward? Humanity's double portion indeed came on the sixth day, and Manasseh was the prime benefactor. But Ephraim's blessings are to be that much greater. Now, early steam power, opening the door for mechanical muscle. On the sixth day, you can see 6,000 years and the turning point. The new world. And, okay, now the lower portion here is from 5001 to the beginning of 6001. That's the sixth day. So moving humanity into a new era. Early steam power. The basic concepts first emerged in 1698 to pump water from English mines. Then, after improvements, came marine and overland applications of steam, big ships, and railroads. All emerged, beginning during the last 300 years of the sixth millennial day. Today, heat from nuclear reactions, coal or oil-fired boilers, turn water into steam. Steam turns the turbines. Steam power. The turbines turn the generators that produce electricity that does all sorts of work. Understanding electricity. An example of progress. Key building blocks for the new world. The end of the sixth day, 6,000 years. These are 1,000-year days. Okay, the sixth day, 5001 to the beginning of 6001, unveiling the mystery of electricity. Understanding electricity. Basic concepts emerged between 1736 and 1943, between the birth of Coulomb and the death of Tesla. Again, understanding electricity provided advancements that changed the world as the sixth day ended. Humanity then passed the promised turning point foretold in Genesis 6:3. Electric is from the Latin electrum, meaning amber. From Greek electron, amber produces sparks when rubbed. Today, generators take electrons out of the atmosphere, pump them into conduits, wires that distribute them everywhere. It's much like pumping oil out of the ground, except electrons are everywhere, in everything. Einstein described sunlight's arrival as in waves and photons, tiny particles. And when photons strike atoms, they cause electrons to be bumped off as free electrons. And these electrons, when collected and concentrated in conduits, provide electric light, operate kitchen appliances, and operate all sorts of devices, including computers. Progress leaps ahead. The advent of chariots at the end of the sixth day. Okay, here we go. At the end of the sixth day. Prophecy come true. Even to the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Daniel 12:4, Nahum 2:3 and 4, and Isaiah 2:2 and 7. Okay, now, Trevithick's steam vehicle was the first steam vehicle was designed for roads. However, a steam vehicle pumping along the roads, which were traversed by horse vehicles, the horses would take off. They weren't going to stand around and see this steam vehicle pumping toward them. This was 1804, Trevithick's steam vehicle. Now you had great power with this steam vehicle. However, you had to keep that steam boiler going all the time, and then you had roads not prepared for steam vehicle carrying or hauling great loads. The Trevithick steam vehicle was proved to haul great loads, but try and haul them through potholes and water holes and things of this nature. And there's no traction for the steam vehicle. Okay, then came Anderson's electric carriage, circa 1832 to 1839. The electric carriage had all sorts of problems too. It was easy to start, so women in the cities could drive them around and get them home again and recharge them at their house. But the batteries weren't that great in those days. There was no place to charge these things along the road somewhere. So this electric carriage didn't do too well. However, the electric carriage broke the 60-mile-an-hour barrier. It was an electric carriage that did it. Now, Daimler-Benz came with the first internal combustion motor car, patented 29 January 1886. Daimler built the engine, a little one-lunger, and Benz applied the engine to a tricycle, and that became the first internal combustion motor car. Okay, now you have the diesel engine. Rudolf Diesel filed his patent in 1894. Now, the diesel had an advantage over the gas-powered vehicles or oil-powered in those days, whale oil or whatever. And the diesel engine had muscle that could do things that were not practical for gas-powered engines. Okay, now you have the Wright brothers, the first flight of motorized aircraft in 1903, shortly thereafter. Before that, you had balloon flights and you had glider flights. Now, this was the first motorized aircraft. Well, the significant thing is that 66 years later, the spacecraft lands its first man on the moon in 1969 AD. Okay, progress leaps ahead. Again, Nearing the end of the sixth millennial day, humanity was moving into a whole new era. Motor vehicles began with Trevithick's steam vehicle in 1804 AD. Anderson's electric carriage debuted between 1832 and 1839, and Daimler-Benz patented the first internal combustion motor car on 29 January 1886, and the diesel engine was patented in 1894. Next, the Wright brothers' first powered flight took place in 1903, and barely 66 years later, a spacecraft landed men on the moon in 1969 AD. Okay, amazing events. Nuclear power, harnessing the power within the atom. Again, on the end of the sixth day, the awesome night of the atom. Uranium was discovered in 1789 AD, and in 1945 AD, the bombs need no further explanation. Nuclear power, a virtually unlimited energy source demonstrated in the 1940s, exposed the tremendous forces stored in tiny atoms, whose energies may be used for good or evil. Nuclear energy has been used for creating weapons of mass destruction, powering propulsion units, enabling submarines and surface ships, for example, to traverse the world without refueling, and providing energy sources to electrify vast regions. Nuclear physics only began to investigate the potential of the atom on the sixth day, but the door to future knowledge and understanding has been opened very, very wide. It happened as promised. Quote, and it shall come to pass that on the sixth day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. Unquote. Exodus 16:5. Now the growth of wisdom, knowledge with understanding. Okay, so we see right from when the earth was created with attributes of age, growth of wisdom increased until the flood. Then it more or less restarted and came along fairly level, and then suddenly on the end of the sixth day it took off and went vertical. Okay, man's double portion on the sixth day becomes obvious. Daniel 12:4. Wisdom is knowledge with understanding, and as humanity progressed through the sixth millennia, the wealth of wisdom grew faster and faster from generation to generation. Where the future leads with respect to humanity's growth in wisdom remains to be seen. Sounding the trumpet, heralding a new era. 6,000 years into the turning point in the spring of 1996, and at the end of the sixth day, the voice of the trumpet, a communication device called the worldwide internet, began sounding loud, worldwide, and long 24/7 as the third/seventh day began. Exodus 19:11-19 speaks very much about the voice of the trumpet. Revelation 8:1-6, Leviticus 23 verse 24, Genesis 6:3, and Leviticus 25:8-10. Sounding the trumpet, the voice of the trumpet, a communication device called the worldwide internet, began sounding loud, worldwide, and long 24/7 as the third/seventh day began. So again, what is happening? Exodus 19:11-19 explains. Indeed, on the sixth day, phenomenal advancements occurred in human knowledge, understanding, and abilities. Yes, advancements occurred in all facets of the human ecosystem, even humanity's leap into space. Daniel 12:4. Humanity's double portion had evolved at the end of the sixth day. All were in preparation for the seventh day. Thus, humanity had begun building a whole new world. Yes, worldwide internet has been sounding an amazing warning. The end times are here. The internet has been warning people to be ready. Everyone is responsible for their own actions. Be ready against the third millennial day from the 5 BC birth of Christ. This is the same as the seventh millennial day of creation, which also arrived in the spring of 1996 AD. Remember, the holy city, Jebus Jerusalem, and the hallowed Solomonic temple had been buried by kings Sennacherib and Nebuchadnezzar. Subsequently, people defecated on, buried their dead atop the Holy of Holies, built roads and buildings atop, shed blood atop the hallowed temple, and turned their backs to the temple while praying. People fight and venerate over man's bloody substitute. Day 6 now continues to chronicle human abominations as they battle over, pay homage to, and venerate bloody substitutes.